Welcome to Showmance, the #1 show on YouTube doing deep dives on shows with no depth. And tonight we are getting into episode 2 of In the City.
I was just thinking.
Oh, yes, I love when you think.
I actually think that this show is really good. Like,
Me too.
I think it's really good. So I know Harris is thinks that this is like humiliation.
I disagreed with him.
I would like to see 2-hour increments of this show for the first 3 episodes because I just want to get to know these people because I'm trying to I feel like every take that I have is I think I know who this person is, but I actually don't know them from the wall. There's a lot of good characters here that I need to know more about Georgina. I just want to, I need to know her backstory. I need to know what happened in that marriage. And
Same.
Or I don't know if it was a marriage.
Yes,
or
they were married.
They were married. Okay.
Or
No, you're probably right.
I feel like they were married.
Yeah. I wish that they would give us that just as a, we're going to do this for you. You know, I know it's expensive, but I would appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I don't know if it's any more expensive, really.
Well, they'd have to add episodes if they wanted to have, you know.
At least give us an hour and a half.
I'll take it.
Okay, good.
I'll take it.
Bravo. Thank you.
Yeah, if you're offering, you're not.
I think the bummer with that is we've watched, is the spinoff, right, of it all. Is we've watched all these people for 10 or 11 years on Summer House. So it's we're good. We know everybody. And now you're introducing 80% new people. And it's well, wait, we know these people really well, but we don't know these people really well. So it's a little bit of a mind F. But yeah, I agree with one caveat. I'm having the same issue. The Craig and Paige broke up thing, and then we had to watch the whole 2 seasons of they're already done. And now we're just watching a thing we already know the outcome of. And those, we cared about them. We all, and I listen, I'll shit on Craig for every day. It's fun.
Oh, we know.
Yeah.
He's not even on this show.
It doesn't matter. That's for Cat Sky and a few others.
Haley and Dave.
And Haley and Dave. We're growing. Our fan club is growing. So Craig, we're gonna be bigger than Party of Schwartz. You're gonna have to do a party of thumbs down on Craig.
Crazy state.
Party of thumbs down on Craig.
How many pages are we gonna have? So many.
Pages?
Pages and pages and pages.
Oh, I thought you meant Paige Disorder. I'm there's one. Thank you.
Oh, and she'll be on my Party of Thumbs Down on Craigslist.
Now you're going to need a spiffier name.
I think we're workshopping it. We're workshopping it.
Party of Thumbs Down on Craig.
Hilarious.
You don't say thumbs down. It's just the emoji.
No.
But then what do you say?
It's just
we're a
my going.
podcast.
No, actually, I'm not going to do it. I'd hate making.
Yeah, go ahead. What is it?
No, I'm not
Yeah,
making
no,
it.
don't do it. Don't do it.
Listen,
No,
it's
God,
fine.
no,
You can
never.
tell us.
No.
Whatever.
No, my biggest offense is
Go with the emoji. Go with the emoji idea.
Oh, Party of Bleh. They'll know what it is.
Oh, I feel like people are going to glom onto that. I hate this. Party of
Holla.
And I'll be party of.
I don't think anyone knows what that means. That sounds like a door opening. So anyways, I think, like I said, we cared about them. Most people don't care about these two. If you did at one point, either of them, you flip-flopped, right? Most people hated Kyle. And
and there's no team. There was very much
no
team Paige,
team,
team Craig. There is no team
There's no
Amanda.
team Amanda.
Except for the bots that are hired to chime in and be I don't think she's that bad.
Yeah, right, totally. That West hired.
Or the random person that's whatever, she fell in love. She's not with anyone anymore. And it's you are missing the point completely. She screwed
Who
over
said
one
that?
of the
Who
best.
would say? People are saying that?
Oh my God.
I
People
don't
are
know.
saying
Who
that and
would-
people that I would have never with. Okay. So just know
She
if you
screwed
said
over
that.
her best friend so deeply. If you can't understand that, I can't understand you.
Yeah. And no matter what your definition of screwed is because they weren't together, blah, blah, blah. But this person was clearly not going to be happy about this. And you knew that if you met Sarah for 30 seconds, you knew that. So
anyways, I'm having that thing already. I'm ready for these. I'm ready for Amanda to go.
yeah, me too.
Same.
And then let's go. Because every time she's not there, I'm
Same.
I'm cool, new show, new people. Ooh, Lindsay, oh, you got smoked.
Yeah.
I love seeing the dude. We'll get to it. But I got my own thoughts. Probably not going to agree with you guys on it. But it's just nice.
Kenny?
What?
The dude? What dude?
Stay tuned. Like and subscribe.
Just tell me what dude we're talking about that we're not going to agree about.
Yeah, Kenny.
Subscribe, hype, tell a friend. It might get messy.
Yeah, subscribe, hype, and middle fingers up.
Thought you knew me. But I get excited. I'm yeah, cool. And then her little rat face shows up. And I'm womp, womp. I can hear the sound in my head going.
You know what it's like? It's on a Sunday, you're having such a great day. It's beautiful out. Maybe you went to a little farmer's market. It's a lovely day. And then all of a sudden you remember, tomorrow's Monday.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. You're watching the show. You're having a great time, getting to know people. And then she pops on the screen and you're like, ugh, all season.
The only thing that I can take from it on the upside of it is how hilarious it is to think about what her mindset during the time that she had no idea. Like she's up there, like when she's like on the couch in like Indian style and like being like, get this. And I'm like, F you. How about that? Like, how about get and I wouldn't miss her.
Like a bad flu.
If she moved to Guam, I wouldn't miss her.
Flu.
Yeah. Or just don't be on the show anymore, which I don't think she will be.
Yeah.
I can smell her smugness is what it feels like while I'm watching the show. It's a full sensory experience.
Yeah.
Because she's there when she's talking about the sunlight she wants on her face in the apartment and sitting in, you know, like you said, these cute little positions on the couch or trying to dish dirt on Danielle. And it's just, it's none of it ages well.
I know that she wants to have the sun beating down on her. I'm going to let you know right now, you are going to have someone beating down your face, and he's kind of orange. So there's that.
And it'll
Good for
be part
you.
of him.
What?
Mostly a part of him.
Oh, girl. Okay. So we start off in Georgina's office. She's going to do a little Botoxy to Andrea, and Lindsay's there as well. He's really adorable.
He has no 11s. I'm sorry.
Nothing.
None, zero. He doesn't have a 1.
He's like a
He's a
golden
nothing.
god. He's
Yeah,
a
if
very
you think you have
gorgeous
11s everywhere,
man.
maybe you have bad eyesight. That's really that's maybe the worst that I can say about a feature of Andreas. He might not have 20/20. That's it. That's all.
I really like that guy.
I love him.
I feel like one day I'm gonna see him and he's gonna be being a total dick to like his wife.
Not
I'm not, but I'm like preparing for it because I like him that much.
Yeah.
That I'm like, it's too, like something bad's gonna happen.
He just gets it, like on so
just
many levels. And
understands it.
I don't know why, but when someone doesn't have English as their first language and but they live in America and then they really get it for some reason, I think they're like extra special because you're bilingual and you get it. Like I barely get it and barely get English. So there's that.
But everything that he says or everything that I want to say about him, I wanted to talk like this, with my fingers like this.
Always a stand up for your woman.
Yeah. If I see him, I want to say, allora. I don't even know what that means, but I watched. It means look?
Allora, like look.
Oh my God. I had no idea. Who would say it? Remember we watched that series with Aziz Ansari on Netflix and he would go, allora, like all the time.
I feel like it means a couple things.
Yeah,
That's
like
one of those
here,
words it
look.
means,
Like it's like getting someone's attention.
Ah. Well, like he said it for things that had nothing to do with that.
Well, anyway, back in New York.
Sorry.
After that, Kyle is going over merch for Lover Boy. And for a second, I was going to say Lover Girl.
Elevated merch. It's so elevated.
Honestly, I do think their merch is actually really cute.
No, but
Cute,
that
not
sweatshirt
elevated.
had
What the fuck does that even mean? Elevated?
you know what's elevated is that sweatshirt that you got from that has like the adopt like it was like a
Wags and Walks, that
Oh,
amazing
the
merch, but it is
dog
elevated merch that you actually wear.
I think I even said that when I was like, this is very elevated. Like you get swag all the time. This is like somebody spent like some
It's the nicest
dough on
sweatshirt
this.
you've ever seen in your life. And
Yeah,
Mike
I
got
believe
it.
she was. They were talking about the font, I think, and she was like, "Oh my god, it's so elevated."
Did you see the call? Like,
The
listen,
mock neck.
the mock neck was weird because it was very thick and it was just like
a girl
girl.
or Billy Crystal in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like it's not, Kyle's not pulling that look
yeah.
off.
No, I didn't.
Andrea in a J. Crew catalog in the 90s is pulling that off.
Pull off skin.
Early 90s.
Just the skin is fine.
Okay, so after that, they're talking, and he says, "I guess it's time for Amanda to chime in," and everyone's asshole clenches.
Yeah,
and he goes over to the apartment, and it's
She still works here.
Wait, but hold on.
Did she ever?
But him saying, "Does she have time to chime in?" and the girl responding, "Today," like just showing you that like you are not going to get a response. And I know who I am, but like with work stuff, I'm not like if you've hired me to do something, if I own this company, like I'm not taking 20, like you're going to know that you can get a hold of me on like a decision like that.
It's more me texting Natalie being like, "So do you think I should get more highlights?" Like that might take her a week to get back to me, but if it's work stuff, she's getting back to me.
I got to think about that.
And she needs to make it funny. For some reason, she can't just say, "Yeah, I think that'd be great."
Not funny. It has to offer some insight that maybe you didn't think of. Like,
I'll take a yes. or a no.
Sure.
That's the insight she's looking for. Yes
No,
or no.
no. Insight is I got my own insight. I have my own.
No, we know.
We know. And we love it. Okay, so anyway, so he walks over to their apartment. And I'm not saying that your theory that they have been living apart forever is wrong.
That line told you everything you needed to know.
Oh, no, I still don't believe it. But I will say, I don't think she could have been living in Loverboy headquarters because it actually does look like
he's living in Loverboy headquarters.
Where? You think there's a bedroom that he's living in?
It's an apartment. It's the same exact space. Like it's literally right next door.
I don't know. Well, how about this? I'm gullible, and since they didn't show a bed there, I was like, oh, he's not living there. It looked very headquartersy.
Because he didn't go in the bedrooms. If a guy walks in, he walked into that closet like, wow, this place is like he hadn't been there in 6 months. This is very organized in here. Like,
what if they had his and hers closets?
They don't. Like in a New York City apartment, and they're broke when they moved in there. Like they don't have his and hers quarters.
Like the theme of the episode was in New York. There's only hers and hers closet.
I think that's actually a national thing.
Yeah, his and hers closets don't exist.
And like everything else is such a mess because like, well, once you freed up all that space, now I don't know what to do with all this stuff. I just have more stuff. Like I have a few of those where I'm like, come on. Like the way he looked around at that, could you entertain it by him saying, "Wow, this is like he hadn't walked in there."
I don't think they've been living apart just because of his reactions to things, like especially later in the episode.
With but the mom, everyone can still be sad about things. You can still be real sad. Listen, I'm just saying.
I respect your thoughts that they've been living apart, but when he does go over there. I don't know. I don't know if I would be feeling this way even marginally about her if this whole scandal hadn't happened. But she is being so nasty towards him. And I'm just so keyed in on it now because of watching. I think I'm on season 5. And all of these little digs, they're amplified for me now. So when she grabs the sneakers, I might need these. And he's like, oh, to run away from, your problems, which could have been like a funny mutual joke. And she's like, to run away from you, which is not, I feel ill-timed, Amanda. Maybe not the time that you're moving out to be digging into him even worse. Almost every interaction with them this episode was that.
Yes. Was her saying something weird and a little rude and a little spiteful and just like had a ton, like so many layered connotations to it that were none of those layers were like, oh, I love you.
And also,
what?
Very staged.
It was just also mean. Even if you've separated and you've like moved out and you're not a partnership anymore, you're just being mean to this guy.
It feels very character-y though. It does. It feels like you're gonna be the this and I'm gonna say the this. It's everything like they don't. This is not. If you watch that scene and thought that people talk that way to each other, like they don't. Especially if they're sad and this is a thing that's happening. And
if you hate the person, you do. And I think she is like very angry with him.
I mean, she just looks like she's trying to portray like they're gonna love this because right now she's still thinking like, because at this point I don't know necessarily what's happening, but she's thinking everyone thinks, okay, this all for me a lot stems from this one interview that she did where she was like, gosh, it is crazy separating from someone that the entire internet has been telling you for like years and years, like leave him. And I just felt really uncomfortable about that. She loves that. She loves being the one that we have always, or at writ large, the audience has always been like so excited for the idea that she might leave him one day. And so she was talking about how after all these years of that, and then it finally happening, that it's this really sad event, but it's so crazy that so much of the internet is like really excited for you. It's hard to figure out how to deal with. I personally think that she loves that and she is she's leaning into that, thinking that everyone is so excited. So she's saying these things as if it's going to be like really pleasing to the audience, being like, yeah, tell him. It's like, that's why it just feels it feels it feels very like charactery to me. And
that she's being performative.
Yeah. Like he does not want to be divorced. Like I hope I've never said that. I know I have never, because I've never felt that way.
You haven't.
I don't think that we've ever not agreed that she's out from jump, like, right? Like somebody was like, oh, it's somebody said something about in the comments that her leaving the house in a car by herself, or them leaving the house in separate cars, and it made me think like that's how the show started. That's how the season started. The season started with Kyle and Amanda driving out in separate cars. The season ended with Kyle and Amanda leaving in separate cars, right? So that is a pretty nice little what do you call it? Little bow wrap up the season.
Little wrap around.
Yeah, a little wrap around. Not a reach around.
Kyle's not getting to reach around at all with her.
Yeah, no, definitely not. But like, I think no one can disagree that like clearly she's out on this dude. She borderline hates this dude for some reason. So I think that like the performative thing isn't a stretch, and I don't think it's something, speaking for you, but like that we necessarily disagree with, because like she's out. She doesn't like him. She's planning her exit. She's performing an exit strategy. She's thought it in her head. She's already there, right? And he's the one that's like, what the f is happening? Aren't we just having a bad couple years? Like, so I don't. But like, is she like? Is this a whole spiel between the two of them? And
that's
like
where
I
I don't think it's a spiel between the two of them. I don't think they're in cahoots. I think she is playing it up, thinking the same way she did. Remember at the end of Summer House, and this really chapped my hide when she said, all of a sudden she's got her backbone, and I'm going to a hotel, and we said this would have actually been a great moment if you were this person and we didn't believe that you were at bare minimum having an emotional affair with Wes. Now this just seems performative and crappy of you, and none of us are here for it. And it seems as though she's taking that energy into the start of In the City. Yeah. And she has no idea how poorly it's reading to the audience. And justice
is so good.
Which is yeah. And justice for Kyle, because that girl is a slopopotamus.
She's so gross.
I could listen. I'm not saying she's a hoarder, but she has tendencies. I would go out of my mind. I'm also a real neatnik. If I had to live with someone that just had piles of things everywhere that you never went through, boxes of shit.
I feel like I can see into her soul and into like what she's thinking, because I have tendencies to get really overwhelmed and then not know where to start, and to kind of like, I'll just like give up for a second and crawl under a blanket. The difference between us is obviously that like I have to get out of the blanket 15 minutes later and figure it out, and she just doesn't.
That's right.
So like I know where she's at, I know what she's thinking, and then I just think about like, what if I never got out from under the blanket and I just stayed there for however many days and just ordered takeout and whatever, and that's what I feel like she's doing, and I just think that that's so gross. Like there's some people who don't have that choice, who have to get under the blanket and not come out. But I don't think she's that person. Same. I just think that she is so entitled and spoiled, and that's my take on her, is that like she's not the person who can't get out. She doesn't have to, so she doesn't.
No, I'm with you.
You don't think that her depression can get debilitating? Do you think rather, let me rephrase that. Do you think that her depression, and I'm air quoting, not to be a dick, but you'll see in a second why, her depression is real and can be sometimes debilitating to the point where she can't get out of bed? Or do you think she has a little depression and got some attention and was like, I'm going to milk the shit out of this? You know what I mean?
I think it doesn't matter. I think you can have a debilitating depression or whatever, and eventually you have whatever the help is that you need. If you dialing your medication, you're in therapy, you're doing the things to tend to the mental illness that you have, then you realize, you talk about it with your therapist. I have a really unhealthy habit now. I have not done laundry in 3 weeks. Everything's piling up. Please, what are the tools that I need to work my way out of this? Because she's not institutionalized.
For half a second, I thought you were like saying something like that you had acquired this habit. Oh, and I literally was like,
I'm not even joking.
Stop and talk about this.
When you
Courtney
said 3 weeks
hasn't done
of laundry
in
yeah,
3
I was like,
weeks. Like, there's a serious problem going on.
It was a split second where I was like, no. But like I with you, I was like,
what?
I'm a really good actor.
I just felt like you were really busy, you know, and like
right?
that something could happen where it's like, all I want to do is laundry and it's haunting me, but like I haven't been able to, you know? Like
I would not be, just so anyone at home knows, my underwear is folded and color organized. Like there is nothing that unwell. But this is what I wanted to add to that really quickly. So I've ADD, had it ever since I was a little kid. I learned to live my life with it. Like if I had a nickel for the amount of times my mom was like, Corky, focus. You got to focus, Corky, focus. Like that was a trigger word for me for a very long time. And I figured out, okay, this is how I work. I don't use it as a roadblock to impede me from getting anything in my life done. And granted, it's not so severe that I'm not trying to, I know that everything is on a spectrum, but like you're saying, I don't think Amanda is on such a far end of one side of the spectrum that it's so debilitating that she should be, you know, in a 24-hour care facility getting help like that. It's like, no, listen, this is a real thing. You have this. Everyone respects that. And now you have to, like, everyone's got their real issues. You have to learn how to live your life with them. And that's not me being callous. That's me being a good friend, being like, this is because you got to live your life.
Only you have to wake up being you every day.
Yes.
So yeah. Sierra, you could see the like despair in her. And like, I don't know, when I saw it in Amanda, it always just felt like lazy to me. And like, I get that I don't know. I know that I don't know, but this is my take. This is what we're here doing is like what we're gathering from this.
And that's a really good point though, because with Sierra, I feel like you could see this lightness in her.
Yes.
And she would talk about, you know, my favorite quote from Marlo Hampton, therapy works, y'all, seek it. Like, I feel like she did find a good therapist and she is doing all of the work. Anything with medication, right? It works if you work it. So if you need meds for, you know, mental stuff or depression, all that stuff, great. Take that medication, have a therapist. That's maybe the companion piece to all of this. It's the same thing I feel like I've heard with GLP-1s. There's people that will tell you, I take it. I'm obsessed with Oprah. I listen to everything she does. And she always talks about it. She's like, it's just stopped the noise I've always had, but I still work out. I still go on hikes. I still eat really healthy. I'm not using it as like, oh, I'm taking this and now I'm doing nothing for my health. And that's the optimal use of this drug to support me in a really healthy lifestyle. And it feels, we don't know that Amanda does this, but she's not doing anything else to support getting out of her depression. That is very real. Like no one's ever questioned that she's got mental stuff that she struggles with, but you're not helping yourself by bad habits with anything in life.
Is she an only child?
I don't know.
She seems very only child to me.
You know what's interesting? My mom's an only child. So I don't have a good...
no, but your mom has come through such a
that's
different
why I don't have
childhood.
a good,
and like, I don't,
barometer or whatever of what an only child really is, because my mom is not the typical only child. Yeah. Do you say that because it feels like very me-centric? I like everything in her life.
Yeah, very me-centric and very much like her parents just made her sort of a center of their world. And like, I always say that like Bogey's family, like I would always be like, I feel like if at the time, Bonnie and Joel, who's Bogey's parents, this is my little kid brother, I always felt like Dylan and Bogey were at the table and Bonnie and Joel would sit there and go, all right, I'm thinking about changing cable companies. Here's the pros and cons. And they would be like 8 and 4 and have like an equal vote, you know,
That's
like,
so cute.
I always like, I felt like that's how Bonnie raised her family was a very democratic. Everybody has a vote here. What do you think? What do you think? And I feel like Amanda was given that kind of thing, but in a very different way of just like, do you want to go on this cruise or this vacation?
Maybe she was the only vote, more of a dictatorship.
Exactly. Yeah. She's like oh God. I feel like I know what you're going to say because you already brought something up.
Go, you can finish.
It wasn't my original idea.
But yeah, so like when it happened, I think I was looking through my notes. I think it happens later. But she said that she handcuffed herself to the iron staircase railing or whatever when she was a kid because she loved it so much and her parents were going to replace it. That, only child or not, that tells me
so much.
Not so much. Every thing I need to know about this chick.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of, I don't remember if it was Love is Blind or Love Island.
It was Love Island, but I don't remember who it was.
It was you might remember, one of the girls that was like, oh, I kicked my parents out of the primary when I was a kid.
Oh my God.
Maybe it was Love is Blind.
I think that was,
And like, wasn't ashamed about it, was a little smidge proud. You could take out smidge.
Yes.
Pretty proud about this.
That was bananas
wild.
behavior.
Like wild. I'm bringing back beating kids. If that, like legit
Not beating them,
spankings.
just spanking.
Hardcore spanking.
Yeah.
With a belt.
Like pick a
switch.
Switch off of the
you're
tree.
getting what daddy got. Listen, but so like that's Amanda. That was that girl was a total lunatic.
Yeah. That's parents though, man. That's like if
that is parenting.
It made me think like, you're a crazy lady, but like mom and dad, we need to talk because you are responsible for this.
Well, that's why we said last episode, like maybe Frank Batula and his wife belong in Bravo jail for a little bit because they created this person.
They definitely need a timeout.
If I did that, my dad would be like, great, then demo her with the stairs, one less kid to put through college.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get myself that Hatteras I always wanted. Like there is no, if I had a nickel for the amount of times my dad said this is a dictatorship, not a democracy. There was, which is why I played well with others in the sandbox because that's what I was raised to do.
Yeah.
That is, yes, great points all around.
Yeah, man.
After this, we go to Rocco's, one of Gavin's bars or restaurants, whatever. I'm here for Gavin. Gavin came to play. Gavin's going to stir the pot. He loves the tea. He's there with Lindsay, who looks great. Lindsay looks I'm here for this era of Lindsay. I'm just going to say it. She might turn, and I might regret saying that, but for right now, I'm here and I'm queer for it. But they very quickly bring up the whole Kenny thing that happened at the Garrett last time we saw everyone. And I really thought he nailed it when he said, you were bringing up a valid point. And so he wanted to discredit you by saying, I'm getting man-hater vibes. And I think, and we talked about this, like, I do think that's exactly what he was doing, because Lindsay may have all of her faults and foibles about her, but she's still right. For someone to move across the country with I don't care if it's a man, woman, non-binary, like if you are in a committed relationship and we are not talking very seriously about the future, fine. Then is that the relationship you're having? Like, it's very laissez-faire. Whatever happens, happens. We might be together. We might not. That does not seem like who Whitney is. Whitney went on The Bachelor. She's here to find a committed relationship, whether it's in the city or The Bachelor. And for Kenny to be so hot on Lindsay's trail to nip this in the bud just goes to show how much that pissed him off, because it's like, no, don't put ideas in her pretty little head, because she's going to just be happy with the fact that she's got a rent-free apartment. I'm giving her some allowance and I'm going to buy her a Chanel bag. Yeah. And that is not a commitment. That is you trying to buy yourself time, in my opinion.
I just think that Kenny is so bad at this. And he's just like, every reaction that you have is, I love the unawareness, the unself-awareness, because you were telling me, like, I don't even have to go read the book. You're telling it to me with my earbuds in while I'm doing my dishes. So I don't have to do any work here. Like, I know exactly who you are. You are so, like,
transparent,
but like, you were so offended by this woman because she is making you feel like the little piss-on ant that you are, because she's better than you and she's been doing this for longer than you, and well, really even just living her life in a better way. Like,
Kenny's really smart, and Kenny doesn't understand that his smarts don't transfer to reality TV yet.
They don't transfer to interpersonal communications or how to deal with people, that it's not in a buy low, sell high kind of way.
Bulls, bears.
Yeah, bulls and bears way. Yeah. Every word that comes out of Kenny's mouth is him trying to tell you what the story is.
That's right.
And it is so obvious that, like, actually the story is literally 180 degrees different than that. And I appreciate that, you know, because like we're covering like 900 shows right now and working every day. And it's like, oh, great. Okay. I don't have to do any like.
No, I'm thrilled Kenny's here. Yeah.
I love this scene between Gavin and Lindsay, because it just kind of, Lindsay is a person, she really, in this moment, is this where we're at? Like, they're sitting across at the...
Yeah.
She's sitting across from Gavin, and I don't know Gavin from the wall. I don't know him from the Pope. I just know that I know the Pope and Gavin give me good vibes, and like I'm into it. But like I could meet them and be like, I don't know who they are yet. We shall see. But I like their dynamic.
Same.
I like that, like Lindsay in this moment when he goes to kind of like kiss her on the cheek, you know, and she thought he was going in for it. I realized in that moment that like she wouldn't have been opposed necessarily. Like
she loves a short king.
Yeah, she loves a short king. She reminded me of our friend Stephanie in this moment.
Yes,
where like our friend Stephanie, who like basically just like she decided that like a family was like her wanting to be like an executive of marketing at a huge like she was treating. I know that I want a family. She went for it as if she was going for the job of the millennium.
That's right.
Or millennium, whatever. And it's like Stephanie was going where she got on the apps and was scheduling coffee, lunch, and dinner, and very often on the same day.
Yep.
You know, it was like she was like taking meetings. And so when he went in for it, the way that like he just gives her a kiss, but the way she reacted was like, she goes, wow, I almost just thought like, is this happening right now? As if like she always kind of wondered if that could be happening. I felt like if he would have gone in for it, she would have been like, wow, I wasn't expecting that, but hold on, let me just think. Was that? Okay, it wasn't. I didn't feel anything, but I didn't feel nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't feel.
I'm not saying yes, but I'm also not saying no.
Yeah, let's try that again. Okay, I can maybe work with this. Should we get a table? It just seems like she's here to
entertain.
Be open to it all. Like she's like it's business. I love that about her. I love that about Stephanie. I think it took Stephanie maybe 3 months, maybe.
Totally.
And she's now married to that guy, happier than ever. All the kids, all the houses,
but
like all the
Lindsay's
things.
here to entertain the ideas.
Yeah.
Like, maybe. Show me your business plan.
No, did you happen to bring your portfolio? Do you have 3 references?
Do you have a timeline?
Yeah.
How are your sandwich making skills?
Did you say your family was Jewish? Even the dad, any of it, you know, like it just, I don't know. I love that about Lindsay right now.
Same.
And I love Stephanie so much. So I kind of saw that.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything that Gavin is saying about Kenny, about like I don't know Gavin well enough to say what his intentions are behind the things that he's saying about Kenny. He very well could be that guy that's like, oh, my best friend who's always been open and available to me.
It could be a little bit of both.
Yeah. He could be saying it all because he is kind of like, oh, we had a life here. You know, we were doing big things.
And he's going to bust it up for a girl that he's actually not going to end up with if he feels like he's got that foresight to know that this is not going to last. I do see both of those things being very true. But if we're just localizing this conversation to Kenny right now, it doesn't make what Lindsay said to him any less true.
No, exactly. And so whatever Gavin's like, whatever it's derived from, I still think he's nailing it. Like Same. He can give it and not take it. And yeah, Kenny just seems like a toddler to me.
I'm so here for it. It's going to give me so much pleasure.
Yeah.
Just my 2 cents. I think the only reason Lindsay is into this dude is because this dude sold out his buddy. This guy is a weasel.
Gavin?
Listen, we don't have a lot of dudes on this channel, mostly ladies, and I'm all here for that. So this might not fly. But Gavin and Kenny are best friends? Gavin is not Kenny's best friend. You don't do that shit to your best friend. You don't stand there in a bar behind the crew and antagonize your buddy while he's getting lit up about his girlfriend. Also, nobody's saying what Lindsay said wasn't untrue. Like that's a little crazy. 6 months.
Except Kenny. Kenny is saying that it's untrue.
What?
What Lindsay said.
I don't think he's saying that it's crazy. I think he's saying like, this is our decision. Like this, you don't really understand. And I think that he held back on what he could have said, which he says later in the evening, which is like, what? 6 months. And then she came out and we've been together for 6 months. That's a year. You got a kid, lady, with a dude to like, stop, just stop. That's cool. I'm not judging. I'm just asking for the same. Don't judge me. We're fine. It's a little disrespectful to this girl you don't even know. Let her make her own decisions. She's a big girl. Like it seemed old school Lindsay, and like it seemed fine. Like make your point, but she just kept harping, and she did gather a little group of people to kind of with him. And then the girl came over, and she wasn't really nice to her either, and didn't let her have a say in it. So like.
Wait, Lindsay wasn't nice to Whitney?
Not really. Like once she came over, she was kind of she was now it was the both of them. So I think that this dude also knows Lindsay. These are a group of friends. He probably knows like, oh, Lindsay's a bully. And you know what? I don't get bullied. So like the vibe I got was Lindsay was going to go after the bully who's like, no, lady, I'm also a bully. And I don't, like, we'll get to it later. I think she got so freaking pissed at that when they met for the like welcome to New York party, because Lindsay's never been able to not bully a dude, and she wasn't able to. She got smoked by that guy and got so pissed.
I think if you have good communication and you've talked about whatever it is with your partner, having a child, getting married, buying a home, the big foundational things, right? It doesn't matter if someone brings it up, because let's just say they don't know where they're at on marriage, right? If Lindsay brought that up and me and my significant other were there and she was just like, I think it's a big deal for a woman to move across the country and not have a commitment of a ring, an engagement, whatever, I could very calmly answer, or so could my boo. Totally. But we actually don't even know if that's it. This is us figuring it out. And I'm so happy to be able to do this here, because marriage has never been my end goal. But because she did catch him in him being a bit of a player, and trust me when I say this, Whitney is a girl who wants a ring. She is, of course, here liking this lifestyle and cameras and all this. I'm not saying that she's some like clout chaser at all. I do think they have a genuine like relationship going on. But trust me when I tell you, she is there because she thinks they have a future and they're going to be getting married. If she didn't think that a marriage was in the future, she would not be here. She would not be here.
That's not true.
I absolutely
She thinks
disagree.
a TV show's in the future. She thinks
Yeah.
a role on a show is in the future. If they get married, great. If they don't,
She's an
fucking great.
influencer.
If they don't get married, that's 6 years of this guy broke my heart. He made me move here from
That's
Los
an
Angeles.
era for an
That's
influencer.
literally,
That's an
that
era
puts
on her
you on
Instagram.
the map.
That's a folder on her
Marriage is
Instagram.
the
Both
fourth
things
best
could be true.
option of the fourth best outcome for her.
Both
is
things can be
marrying
true.
this
She
idiot.
knows this is a good opportunity, but when they started dating, she didn't know that this show was happening.
Well, she only moved here. Like there's no way that she moved here without knowing the show was happening. Like, because
zero
just like
chance.
you would know you're signing on to something. She seems like I don't know. Is she one of the people that's in the artwork? Like the show?
I don't know.
I can't
Probably.
remember.
I think she is, because I think they all are.
Yeah. Like this
Like
is
all the couples.
I just
That being said, like-
however this goes, I think it's going to be like time well spent.
Yeah, totally. She'll be fine. This is going to work out great for her.
It will, but I'm still Whitney's a girl who wants to get married. She's a girl that wants a ring.
But how do you
Yeah.
know that after 2 episodes where she barely said anything?
It's my spidey sense.
Okay. Okay. But also
But it only triggers them because there's been no real communication and like, no, this is how we feel about this.
yeah, but I also think that you're speaking, which sometimes we do. Like sometimes we do have to remember these people are on a reality TV show, and in this reality TV show, they know each other, right? So this isn't a surprise attack. This is Kenny. Like Kenny knows she's a little man hater. Like that's not a secret. She's not totally.
Who,
She wants
Lindsay?
a little bit. Like these Lindsay.
If anything, Lindsay's a man lover.
Yeah, I don't think
Listen,
Lindsay's a
I
man hater.
don't know.
Yeah.
But I think she's a woman.
Yeah.
And not a woman hater, but I just mean like I think she's tougher. I think it's easier for her to get a guy friend than it is a girlfriend.
Friends. Friends. But I think Lindsay not as a man hater, like in the sense that Lala is like legit man hater. But like Lindsay's on that train. She's interested in it. She's reading the literature. You know what I mean? Like, does she want to get married? Probably. And bang, yeah, definitely. But like Lindsay's also had a multitude of horrible experiences with dudes that have put her at that moment in a place of like, you're just another dude. You're going to do to her what every other, like, well, maybe.
But I think that's because
maybe
Lindsay has
not.
trust issues because her mom abandoned her, not because she's a
Fine,
man
but
hater.
that's a Lindsay thing. Like, and he said that sounds like a you thing a couple times. And that's all I'm saying is I agree with him. Lindsay, this sounds like a you thing. And that's fine, but it sounds like a you thing.
I see, and that's where I disagree with you. It's the same way that I'm saying, like, I believe Whitney is a girl who wants to get married. I think that's what Lindsay's picking up about this person.
Because why? Because her and all her friends feel that way, which is when he said that. I don't have a single girlfriend that wouldn't expect blah, blah, blah. Right. Well, that sounds like a you thing.
No, she didn't say expect. She said, I don't have a single girlfriend who would move across the country without the promise of.
Okay.
It's not the same thing.
But it's the same outcome, right? I don't have a girlfriend that would do this without this,
who
right?
would uproot her life without a promise of a commitment.
Right. That sounds like a you and your girlfriend's thing. Have you asked if that's a Whitney thing? You're just guessing because you have a spidey sense, and I'll respect that. But like, we don't know. Whitney could be like, oh, you dummy, I'm fucking, these are the cameras, I'm making
but
fucking.
Just as much as we don't know in this direction, we don't know in the other. So we're all just placing bets. And your bet is on that they're cool in the gang and you're seeing it from his side. And my bet is I don't think she's far off with just what she's saying. And I also think the way she said it was not like you're an asshole for not giving her some kind of commitment. She just was highlighting that's a really big deal for someone to do.
Right.
I don't think she was being antagonistic as much as Lindsay can be antagonistic.
She ended up there. She didn't start
100%
there.
she ended up there, but I think she ended up there because he was like, whoa. Like, let's not talk about this. I don't want to talk about this.
I want to dumb it down just a little bit and just like simplifying it that like I think that when you, again, like, as you said, we do have to remember that these are shows, that there is a camera here. And if anybody knows anything, then we're here to talk about something or whatever. And that is a very American or really global thing to like bring up. Like, oh, this person, I know not. Just say that Lindsay knows nothing about Kenny and knows nothing about this girl. And she meets these people and they say to her, she just moved here. Oh, where'd you move from? Oh, are you guys engaged? Or are you no, we've only known each other for a year. Wow, that's a big deal to do something like that. Like it is very topical, is very like, oh, everyone has an experience of something like this. So it makes you think, would I do that? Is that a thing? Like, oh,
that's what I think.
Like it felt like almost Lindsay was just like, being Lindsay, because Lindsay is like she's going
driver
to
of
ask
story
you a question, but she is a driver of story. It is why we're all here today, dearly beloved.
But we also hated Lindsay for 10 years because she drove a story in a tone that was so annoying and mean and like aggressive and unnecessary.
You're back there with Lindsay.
I said it when I'm like, oh, I'm having
now
a little
we're
bit of
down
flashbacks.
The truth comes out.
It's not a secret. I said it. Like I was having moments of like, this reminds me of old Lindsay.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't like old Lindsay. None of us did. We like Mom Lindsay.
You know what I'm wondering though? I wonder if now that I've seen the softer side of Lindsay, like I wonder if it's going to have an impact on how I see her.
Totally.
Like now she's a human being. Now I know there's proof. I've seen that she is a human being, where before I only saw this one thing. But like, I wonder if I will now take all of her future things. Had I never seen Lindsay the mom, I wonder if I will now go, no, but I know she's a real life person that I share thoughts with and share beliefs with.
That's right. And I have a lot of respect for.
Yeah.
I feel like she's really taken to motherhood very, very well. The life that she's created for her daughters seems beautiful.
Yeah.
You don't whatever, we'll get there, but like the custody stuff, there just seems to be things about Lindsay that for me feel like she's grown up a little bit.
And it won't mean that I won't notice her shit. Like we did the Valley last night and I was like, I love Lala. I'm a huge Lala fan, but like, I think she kind of blew it in this moment. And I'm bummed because I've been like pushing Lala out to everyone to my chagrin, because half of the people out there are like, Lala never, absolutely never can, never will, and get over it.
Never Lalas?
Yeah, the never Lalas. Yeah. And I saw a bit in her that I'm just like, oh,
what part?
No,
I had the same thing. I had that I was sitting there thinking like, I'm having the same feeling that you did with Lala. It was the exact same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
That was my
I can see that. I can respect that.
Yeah. When she was talking to Nia, it felt like, you guys watched The Valley, right?
If not, check out our coverage.
When she was talking to Nia, they're at Brittany's. I'm getting rid of my boobies tomorrow.
Yeah, crawfish boil.
And she came out.
Bye-bye booby party.
Her what? Bye-bye booby. Bon voyage boobie.
Yeah.
When they sat down to have that discussion, Lala had been building up to a point where she was looking at she was pitching Kristen, you got to step in. This poor lady's being abused at home, It was all about her being a victim. But then the second that Nia sat down and was like, so I heard you guys have been talking about me. Lala was very not the warm and fuzzy that you would be to the victim that you've been saying that Nia is. She was like, so this is what I saw and I didn't like it. And these are the things and whatever. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know. What do you want Nia to do right now? You've not really presented a warm, cozy space, a safe space for Nia to tell you all of her deepest, darkest. Yeah. So it just it made me feel like Lala had, God, you came in here because you were the big swinging dick before and you didn't really prep for this. It's like the kid who was like, oh, I'm the best on this team, but I haven't shown up for practice in 6 years, but I'm going to knock it out of the park. And it didn't go that way. And I was like, so that maybe he's having that with Lindsay. I think he is. Of And
I do get that. I do. I'm not blind to that. I think also when I'm looking at scenes like this, right, where these two people are having their disagreement, and I know we're not there with her and Kenny, but we're talking about just these two and this situation. I like her better than I like Kenny.
Oh,
so
1,000%.
That's also why I'm just going to give any leeway. Yeah. It's going to go in her direction because I do think Kenny's a little bit of a player. I do think that there is merit to what the string that she's pulling.
Yeah. Kenny is just not, like I said, he's showing me that he's an idiot. He's not doing, when we talk about, we don't like men that are big, reactionary people, because the sexiest things to me is
keeping your cool,
keeping it in, and just keeping your cool. Sometimes I don't even know. I might think that Mike doesn't even notice something, and he'll be like, "Oh, I noticed." But he's so blue steel, that I don't know in the moment. Now, obviously, 17 years in,
you picked up on the tells.
I've picked up.
Sucks. Yeah. I'll be sitting there doing my thing. She'll be like, I know something's wrong. I'm like, God damn it. I didn't know that.
But I know that he's just inside. And the last thing Mike's going to do is let you know that what you just said or the thing that happened affected him in any way, because that's his power, you know? So I feel like Kenny, it's he's kind of similar to early years of Kyle, where I would be like, oh, it's written all over your face. I used to compare Kyle to when my mom taught third grade and I would go sit in her classroom, because I was in sixth grade, and I would go sit in her classroom during lunch and I would watch these kids, and there was it was Dustin Pedroia, so adorable. And he would be so mad about something, and he had this little bubble butt, and he'd be standing up at his desk, saying he was competing with you're doing the math flashcards, playing the game in class where you're going around and people are competing to see who gets the math flashcard first. And he was so you could see his emotions written all over it to his legs shaking, oh my God. And that's who I felt like Kyle is. When I see Kyle getting pissed, I see third grade Dustin Pedroia getting so mad that this is happening right now. But Kyle's 40,
that's right.
know? And that's what Kenny is showing me right now is everything that Lindsay's saying, the way he's and the way he's presenting, later when he calls, oh, she's got her minions, and I'm like, you've been thinking Lindsay is under your fingernails, under your skin, and that's not attractive to me. You're a successful grown man who's made a lovely life for himself.
The wolf
in
howls
the city.
At the moon. The moon doesn't howl back.
Yes.
So if you want to be the more powerful one, you just stay in your peace.
Yeah. So that's what Kenny's showing me right now is you just got on a show. You don't know how you think you're killing the scene right now, and you are so not. It's really sad. And she's got 10 years, 12 years, whatever of reality under her belt, and you're going to lose here. And it's a bummer for you.
And if any of you are wondering what that energy got Dustin Pedroia and are wondering why that name sounds familiar, it got him a World Series. Yes, Natalie went to school with World Series champion Dustin Pedroia.
He was so cute. You can't believe this kid was the cutest kid ever. Oh my God, so cute.
That's cute. I was like, wait, that's so great that you remember his first and last name. For me, it's John Kaiser. Really remember, I had to sit next to John Kaiser because he had a messy desk, and my teacher's like, you help him be neat. I'm like, you can't help him. Ooh, Amanda, I might have a guy for you. John, you out there?
And everything I've said about Dustin, he was in 3rd grade. I'm not saying that that's who Dustin is today. I'm just comparing him to a 3rd grade kid who's super smart and had everything at his fingertips.
And also clearly competitive.
But in 3rd grade. Yeah, he can very competitive.
Which I don't think that's any of that's bad.
Clearly, that all worked out really well. But if you're 40 and you're still displaying these things, like imagine how much further you could be if you weren't at 40, you know? That's what
Or you channeled it into the right thing, like Dustin.
Yeah.
Okay, so the rest of the scene, Robert comes out. That is Danielle's ex. He looks great. Anyone?
Wait,
oh my God, so good.
We're talking about Robert. When he came out, he's the head chef at Rocco.
Oh, yeah, he did look good.
He looked great. Took the high road. This is what you're talking about. He did not take the bait, didn't talk about Lindsay. He's like, that's all in the past. Don't want to talk about it. Don't need to talk about it. So great to see you, Lindsay. And that's how you keep your power.
It's exactly what I would have done too. Like, because I got
nailed it.
My little ego, and I'm like, I'm going to show up here to let you know that I'm still working for high profile, big exposure in media restaurants, and get my little Chiron out here right now. But I am going to then turn away and also let you know that I'm still looking a banging.
That's right. He looked even better.
He did.
Because I never found him attractive the first time around. This time around, I was like, okay.
I was never like, what is she doing with him? But I was like, whatever. He didn't really matter. But yeah, he's definitely like, was like, and I'm a dip now, but take it in.
That's right.
Yeah.
Look good on the way out.
The only thing that was funny to me about him is that I feel like he had one of those Bluetooth things in his ears from like the early odds.
I think it was a pencil.
Oh, was it a pencil?
Yeah, I feel like it was a pencil.
Oh my God, it looked like a Bluetooth thing. And I was like, I'm not going to talk a bunch of shit about it because maybe it's like a
communication system with the kitchen. No.
In the kitchen, you know?
If it was, I thought it was a pencil.
I think it was a pen or a pencil too.
Yeah, but it could, if it was probably some sort of new fancy kitchen system.
Yeah. Then Lindsay just quickly brings up what we all know, that she wants to give Danielle a wide berth, and she's not really here for that right now. And that's
who would be
like.
I know, Danielle, you're welcome that you're even here. It's because of either you're only here, Danielle, because of either your friendship with Lindsay and or your beef with Lindsay. Like either of them are serving you equally as well right now. So I'm not going to have a ton to say about Danielle and the scenes that Danielle's in because I don't know. I really feel like Lindsay is her whole reason for the season, and I'm not going to give it to her until Lindsay does.
Same.
Danielle, I feel the same, and I'll say this now, and then probably we don't have to talk to her again. I feel the same way. I was like, I feel two things. One, and let me finish before you start typing.
I was like, Natalie and I were being really quiet.
Yeah, no. I feel like Danielle is a West in the sense that Lindsay said, like, you're really good. Like, he's super charming and super funny and a little weird, cute and like cool buddy and gonna check out. Like, he's all these wonderful things cloaked in a demon.
Wait, who is this?
West.
No,
right?
The demon is under the cloak. Yeah, like he's a wolf.
Sorry,
in sheep's clothing.
yeah.
Wait, who are we
West.
saying?
Talking about West.
West is a Danielle?
Danielle is a West.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
They're the same. So like they're just, I find myself listening to Danielle in real life at the bars and explaining her in her scenes, and I'm like, what's going? I'm like, she's fine. Like, I feel what you're saying. I agree with you. Like, and then she does the things that she does, or gets in a confessional and is just such a dick. And I'm like, no, that's who you are. Danielle's that girl that's going to be super cool to you.
Yeah.
And then when she's not with you, watch out. Like, and she will tear you down and do whatever she wants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where in similar ways, I don't think West is tearing you down the same way. He's doing it in a different way.
West is way smarter.
Right.
Like in how he plays that game.
Yeah. But they're the same in that sense of like, super charming on the outside, not so much but don't let it fool you, because these people are gonna f you up.
She did.
That's my vibe with Danielle.
The way that you're talking about their confessionals use is now. I never thought about that, but they are very similar. And it took Danielle however many years to get there, and it only took Wes 3 years. But they started using their confessionals as like their whatever you just saw, pay no mind. Here's the real deal. Which is like,
no, she did it from jump. She really did.
I don't remember like Danielle. Like, I never liked Danielle or didn't really. She was whatever to me. But it was when she started going after Lindsay in confessionals, and then Wes was going after he was trying to address the audience to tell him like, I'm not a boyfriend guy. I when we were talking about that, I was just trying to distance myself. But we didn't see that playing in real time ever, which is like, okay, I get like you're trying to tell us the real deal, but also like, I don't have respect for you if you're not living that truth in the day to day. You're just using your confessional to tell us basically I'm a CIA agent here on assignment and here's what's really happening, but I'm undercover, so I can't let them know. Like it's kind of a pussy ass way to do things. It's a very insecure space. So I get that you think that Danielle did that before. Maybe I didn't pay a ton of attention to Danielle
because she was always connected to Lindsay.
Yeah.
So, and Lindsay's the louder of the two. So I think whatever you were seeing from Danielle, you weren't clocking it as much because Lindsay was the face of the organization.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, there were just things were like, especially because do you remember Carl and Lindsay hooked up before they ever really got together?
Yeah.
When that happened, there was stuff that Danielle was saying in the confessionals. And then before, like, to me, Danielle is just someone who seems a little bit of a try-hard.
Yeah. Oh, big time.
Right? And so every guy that she was ever in connection with on Summer House, I really like him. There could be potential there. It's like she was trying to make fetch happen with every single guy because she just so badly wanted to be in a relationship. And I feel like all of those qualities, it's why all of a sudden she would start to like then pick apart Lindsay because of her insecurities. Yeah. And if I'm not doing well, then you're not doing well. But now I'm in this great place with Owen. And so like now I think we should just get back together and be friends.
Yeah.
And she has this very like tit for tat competitive thing that she has had from jump. And so like when her and Lindsay were on the same page, because now I'm on the come up and Lindsay's the HBIC on this show and I'm her best friend. But then out of nowhere, she goes and tells Paige about, there's this rumor that Kyle may have hooked up with another girl, but Lindsay told her not to tell anyone. Like she's just always doing these messy things.
Yeah. As you're saying this, I'm realizing what it is. She could have been doing that whole time. I never liked Lindsay, so I didn't care. Wes is doing that to Sierra. Wes is getting his little like, here's my things about a girl that we all like. I'm sure. And I forgot, I need to rewatch. I know you're rewatching right now.
That's the only reason these things are fresh, by the way.
I don't remember any of these things, but probably because if Danielle ever did talk shit on Lindsay or do something weird, I'd be like, I knew it. Like I had a bias, so I was looking for it. So when West does it, it's like standing outside like, okay, you're really, but I would have probably been like celebrating it to see somebody take Lindsay down. And this is also why
West is better at it than Danielle is, like, to your point.
West is better, but like not better at it because I'm noticing it about West. I don't like it. Like he picked someone that America loves.
But there was a moment where you're like, oh yeah, West is cool. West is fun. We never had that moment with Danielle from jump. We're always just kind of like, I can't get in on this girl.
Yeah. No, West is a cooler person to watch.
That's my point.
But I won't say he's smarter than anyone because I just don't.
Well, I mean, it's like saying you make a better shit sandwich. It's not really a compliment.
Yeah, but like totally. I also think that listen, I would never say that I'm a person that does this, but I feel like if everybody's honest with themselves, there is a thing about like seeing a guy when guys are like funny and charm or whatever, like you don't see it coming. So like you give it a lot more value because it's like, but Danielle never had, she's not charming. She's not funny and whatever. But like Bravo does have, and its viewers, and I am one of them, even though there are some way worse than me, but like we do have a tendency to like let dudes like find guys much more charming.
Give them more of an allowance
than women. Yeah,
totally.
And I don't know why, especially women. I don't know why.
So after this, we've got the scene with Kenny and Whitney, first just talking about how, I'm going to need more closet space. They then talk about how you can turn the second bedroom into a closet, but it still has to be a bedroom. Even though we've kicked Gavin out, we still want people to be able to stay. Then we kind of get that history with Gavin. And they start to go on this walk where Whitney talks about how she just got a pedicure with Danielle, and she was explaining the timeline of Danielle's relationship. And Kenny was very quick to, this is why
we're transparent.
That's right. And these are the things that are irritating me.
But that's a call sheet scene. Like that's 100%.
Oh, 100%. But he doesn't have to say like, sounds like there was overlap. Like,
how do you know? Because you've overlapped yourself. So now like he calls things out, and it's like, because that's you.
And he's also inserting himself in a place that he doesn't have to right now.
What did he overlap? What's his overlap?
I feel like Kenny notices things in people, and when he shouts them out, it is just like, listen, this happens across the board with many people. When he does it, I cannot help but go, game is recognizing game right now. He feels like when he's offering something up, I don't even know this guy from the wall, and I'm already visualizing you were just in a situation like this, so that's why you know that. You don't like when Lindsay's doing this because that's what you do. You don't like when Gavin's telling you about what you're going to do to this girl because Gavin knows what you're doing to this girl because you just did that. But in this specific
instance, that was so clearly a setup for her to say these things and him to set in motion the storyline in episode 2 that like maybe Danielle and this dude were.
Yeah, but I think this whole thing is that. I think they're going to be doing that for the first 6 episodes of a brand new show. Everything we're going to see is going to be them. Basically, they probably had 15,000 meetings on how these are going to go to introduce all of these things to us. So, but I still think everyone's doing it differently, and he's doing it differently than the next guy, and that's what makes him worse at it. Because I don't think the other guy is doing it as bad. And
he's trying to cut them down very early on, in my opinion, for a guy that's like, you're new boots. You don't really even know these people, because he says to her, he goes, you've got Danielle who's dating a guy and the guy's still married. And I really need everyone to stop with this. If you are separated, go do whoever you want. It's a little annoying to me when people are just like, they're still married. It's like, oh.
Okay. I said that at the summer house thing. I didn't even want Sarah to say that.
Yes.
He doesn't know, him and Danielle don't know each other. Like that's another thing is like, and it goes to your point of like, we need 2 hours for like 6 weeks.
Yeah. Let's get through all this.
How deep are these friends? Like who knows who from where? We're getting a little bit of it, but like you just said, he doesn't even know these people. I feel like he does know these people.
Oh, did I say that?
Yeah. Oh. That like,
I don't know.
I said he's going for these people. And your new boots. That's what I said. Meaning like, like you're a new reality TV character. Yeah, that's what I meant for clarification.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, whatever. It seems to me they know each other, right? Like this is a group of friends in New York living their lives, right? Yeah. This isn't like a group of friends that had a summer house and now we're going to follow them into New York and throw 8 or 10 randoms into their lives. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but I do wonder, this is a good thing to bring up because I wonder how well they all know each other. Obviously, everyone is just meeting Whitney except for Gavin, right? And even Kyle's like, oh, I'm getting to know her. She seems lovely.
This is different. This show sets itself aside from the Southern Charms and the Summer House. I feel like these people, half of them are meeting each other. Maybe they know each other in passing. This is a different thing than like how we like it. This is a group of friends at Vanderpump that have all been working at this bar for however long, and 3 of them live together, and the other 3 of them live over here. Like this
Lindsay
is different.
And Georgina know each other really well. I don't know if Georgina and Kenny have any relationship to each other. I would like to know that though. I want to know what the history is.
It seems like they are telling us though. Like I'm just getting to know. I've known Kenny in circles and in passing because he's a friend of Kyle's. He was an early investor. But Lindsay's like, I don't really know him. Lindsay says, I've known Gavin for 15 years. You know, like it seemed like, I think that they are telling us. But
it's just, they're just rolling it out piece by piece to keep us hooked in. It
feels different than all the other shows that we watch. And it is going to be interesting because, like I said, we love watching shows of friends that have known each other for however long. But I get irritated when they drop someone into the group who then tries to cause a bunch of drama because I'm like, you don't know these people. But here it seems like literally half of them are like kind of meeting each other in like where they're going to be here and together and working for 6 hours today, kind of for the first time. They have met Kenny because he's been at a party that Kyle was at with this company or this event.
Christmas party.
Exactly.
Right, so they don't know each other.
It seems like half of them only know each other in that way. So,
but the other half, I think, really do know each other.
Totally. But what I'm saying is that like all the times that I say I prefer shows this way, it's with that caveat of like, you're going to drop a brand new person in and then we're supposed to take them seriously. This will be, I don't think I'll have that in this case because it's a whole other dynamic of like, no, well, half of like 50% of them know each other. The other half doesn't. So to watch them get to know each other and watch those dynamics grow and see what they're about, like it's almost like it's equal opportunity here. It's not like you're, like I said, dropping someone in and then going, you're just trying to steal a scene right now because you don't even know her. This doesn't make sense. Half of them don't know each other. So it's just a different, I'm not mad at it. Like I would be if it was like 90% know each other and then there's one or two new people, you know?
I know exactly what you're saying, and I'm
I hate
a fan of it.
Does that make sense? I hate it when people go, does that make sense?
Oh, I say that all the time.
So do I. Oh. I would like to stop saying that.
It's my way of connecting with you to make sure it made sense to you. I just want to close the loop on something that I was saying before, where he says you've got Danielle who's dating a guy, and the guy is still married. Lindsay, and then there's Lindsay who had a baby with a guy after like 2 months. And first of all, I think this is a situation of two truths, bro. Those two things could absolutely be happening, and what Lindsay said about you can be accurate. With all of that being said, and this is just how I like a gentleman, okay?
Yeah.
Like that's who I'm attracted to. And this is just a new person we're meeting, so this is why I'm throwing this out there. I think that is a very, I don't think a gentleman says something like that about a woman. I think it's catty. I think it's showing your ass a little bit. I think, fine, you guys have been together for a while and you're not on camera and you say whatever, but like, we're just getting to know you. And I think that's a very, I think it's a gross way to display yourself if you're trying to be this like, and maybe he doesn't give a shit about how he's coming off or whatever. I just think if I was with a guy and we were filming a reality TV show and he said that, I would be like, a little bummed out on him. Do you know what I mean? Like there's just an inelegance to Kenny when he tries to like go for the jugular that I'm not feeling.
But not to Lindsay.
I'm
doing essentially the same thing.
Listen, fair point. I just wanted to make that point about Kenny. With Lindsay, I think Lindsay does this stuff all the time. I've got a little bit more history with her. I kind of expect it from her. I don't look at Lindsay like, oh, you're this elegant lady. Like when Paige fights, I think Paige fights fair. I think even when she like really cuts to the white meat, I still think she's doing it in a way that it's like, you could do that in Buckingham Palace. Like you could get away with that. Like there's just like a more of an elegance to Paige than there is, what is her name? Lindsay. And so like, I'm just expecting that out of Lindsay. And I'm not saying that that's right or wrong. I just don't have as much of an elevated expectancy with Lindsay. And with Kenny, it's just like he came on the scene. He's super handsome. He's really successful. He dresses well. There was a lot there that I was just like, oh, this guy could be like a vibe. And very quickly, it's like, oh, you're a boy. You're a boy trying not to be a boy. And I'm just not into that. I'm down for more of like Andrea when he says what?
You guys, can we just stop? I missed the line. I don't even know what we're talking about right now. What was the line?
Oh, when he says like, when he's just like doing two digs on them. Like you got Danielle who's living with a guy who's still married and Lindsay who had a kid with the guy after knowing him for 2 months. Yes. It's like, bro, like shut up. Like you don't need to.
Okay. I'm so glad I asked.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going, totally.
And like, by the way, it's good TV. I'm just saying as a character, like I wanted more from him and I'm just not going to get like an elegant gentleman out of Kenny.
It was everything that I've already said. He is Kenny. This is good. This is good for Kenny. Kenny, you may have invested in 270 million companies that have all done really well. And the ones that didn't only led you to the next one. You've clearly accumulated some wealth. Like you don't live this way if you haven't. You look great. You're probably on 1900 peptides and going for it at every gym and all the different class. I think you're on the cutting edge of
NAD's
fitness
coming to you for your
exactly.
IVs.
Yeah, they're coming with that, and your egg white omelet is being made over here, and then you've got the girl from The Bachelor blowing you as it's all happening. Like
yeah, that's right.
I think he's figured out many things. It's always nice to be reminded that like there are some things that you have never done before, and that would be reality television, and you are blowing it because you are telling us everything. It's what we call exposition. It's like show us that like she's an asshole and that he's only trying to do this, Don't tell me off the top of the scene and think that we're all going to buy it from a guy that we've never met before that, oh, there's the Minions comment and there she's doing this. Like, you're trying to tell us all in a way, but you're telling her, but we're all listening. There's this and there's that. I'm not judging anyone off of what you're saying right now because it is so clearly transparent to me what you are trying to do, which is set up everyone's narratives before we get the chance to know them. And the people that are watching the show have been watching years and years and years of Housewives and all the other shows. And like, they are the veterans. The viewers here are the veterans, and you are the brand new rookie idiot that you just need to slow your roll, take it in, do a little more listening and a little less yappity yapping because it's not working for you.
No, because this is what you're tapping into, and this is what I'm trying to say also, and I'm really happy that we're on the same page about this. It's like he's taking the bait.
Yes.
And he doesn't first of all, if you've watched these two broads for any amount of time, they will hang themselves.
Yeah.
Danielle will do something kooky. Lindsay will say something she's not supposed to say, right? And they're going to get invited back next year. Maybe not Danielle, but Lindsay always will get invited back.
Yeah.
And it's like that saying, like, just leave the rope out. They'll hang themselves.
Yeah.
You know, like, he's not getting the fact that what you were saying about Mike, like, it'll be annoying Mike, but Mike's not giving up his power.
Yeah.
Because he's going to sit back. And then when you guys are in the car away from the dinner party, he'll say his piece.
Yeah, like, bro.
Like
the
me
second
tell
we
you.
in the car and the door closes, bro. But like while we're there, nothing.
That's right.
Stealth.
And he'll only say something if it's really party time.
Yeah.
And he's got to assert himself. And that's how Kenny should have played it. You shouldn't be sitting there, in the great words of Nene Leakes, men stay out of women's business. Don't sit here and be like, let me explain something to you, Kenny. You don't have a biological clock. Lindsay had a time clock. She needed to get a kid out before she could no longer have a kid. And you will never understand that reality. So don't come for her because she wanted to have a kid. And this
is the wildest conversation I've ever heard in my life.
And it's also the same thing with Danielle. And that's why she's being like a little rabid about getting with the guy, because she wants to have a kid. And a guy's never going to understand that. You could be Charlie Chaplin was 80 years old and had a kid. So it's just like he's playing it all wrong. Play the strength card, sit back, let them show who they are. And you could have been like, yep, and I'm still here, happy with Whitney, and she's going to get a beautiful ring, and we're going to have a beautiful life together. But he's not doing that. He's taking the bait.
It was even like Lala in that scene that I was like, she didn't do a great job, but it's like she figured out that right now, like I'm not getting what I came here to get. So you saw her kind of sit back and go. And she mulled her options in that moment. Kenny's not mulling any options.
No.
He's not taking that minute to be like, that did not work. Okay.
He's shooting fast and loose.
Redirect, you know?
But he thinks he has all the power.
And he thinks he does because he's so good at a million other things, but like you can't be good at everything, and that's okay. And honestly, Kenny, that's the most human part about you so far. I'm going to try to take that in and be like, that's cute, as opposed to being like, F you f***ing idiot. I'm going to be like, look at him. Look at our little baby infant just crawling to walk, and
there's room for real growth for you at the reunion.
Yeah, and we love that. That's where you should start out. That's nice. We love it. We love a growth story. Yeah. But Mike, why do you think this is such a wild conversation?
Just because.
Well, go on.
It doesn't matter. We've been talking about this for
really
so long. It's not really. I don't want to talk about it for another 10 minutes and say the same thing.
Well, everyone's going to be wondering why you think this is a wild conversation.
Because it just keeps saying, well, Lindsay had it, and Lindsay had a time clock, and then Danielle had it, and that's their right. Yeah, totally. Sounds like a them problem. And that's all Kenny was saying. Like us isn't a you problem. Why are you inserting yourself into our life and our situation while we're just here having some drinks?
But
and then you did it
again.
But that was the gist of it. Like,
no, he went for them. He's like, you've had a kid with
okay,
someone
this is why I don't want to have this conversation. Like he didn't. He saved that till the end, and it's literally the thing that shut Lindsay down and made her walk away. So
no, he said it earlier with Whitney. I'm just saying, like, he didn't have to say that. He said it with Whitney.
She didn't have to berate him about his relationship or her moving. Like, she moved from Los Angeles to New York. That's not crazy. That's not a crazy thing. Just to do, it's not crazy. To do for a dude you've been dating for 6 months? Dude, we know people who've gotten married after 6 months and they're still together. So, like, I don't understand. And we can keep going back and forth. It doesn't, like, again, we say this all the time. We all watch a show and the same scene, and we all have different viewpoints. You guys think? I think Lindsay did a lot. I think Lindsay blew it. I think she pulled old Lindsay back. I think Gavin's the bad guy.
And let me be clear, because I meant to preface that. I literally have it in my notes. I like Gavin right now. I know him as well as I know the Pope, but I like his energy so far. Like I don't know this dude. So like
he's a shady.
We're trying to like listen. Clearly, we see in the coming attractions that like he says Kenny calls him the Bernie Madoff of hospitality. If that's a thing, then like, damn, like that's a crazy ass accusation. And like, again, I have no idea. I haven't even looked this guy up. Like I have no idea. So if he is, then like, that opens up a whole other thing where we're going off of like what we know. That's why I said I wish that they would come in 2-hour increments for the first 3, because I don't like having to just like, I mean, listen, it is kind of like the Wild West right now. Like we're just like, we're here to make a prediction and see how it shakes out. Luckily there's no money on this bet. But I don't know. And I wish I did. So I'm not standing for him. Your prediction is that he turns out to be a real weasel. And
I mean, it's not.
You might be totally right, and I have no idea.
He just seemed those 2 scenes. He seems that we've already seen. He seemed Weasley to me. That was mine. It was like, ooh, that's not a best friend I want. Like sitting at a bar with this chick that you're in a fight with, and just giving all the tea and being like, well, he's this. Here's a whole buttload of ammo if you need it the next time you guys see each other. Also, his mom died. Like we're gonna rail on that a little bit and joke on that. Not us, but like Gavin. And like, listen, the joke ain't fine. Travis is here. We joke all the time about his dead mom. He's fine. He loves it. He started it. But
he said yesterday that Mike, he's like, listen, it'd be great if you had a dad that threw the ball with you. Mike turned out fine because Mike doesn't know who his dad is.
That's what they do on Smartless all the time.
Yeah.
You know, Sean Hayes' dad literally like just drove off one day and they never, and they're like, oh, wait, is that like that day that your dad just said he was going to be right back and he never came back? Like, and they're all in on that joke. So it's okay.
So his dad was there in order to drive off.
That's right.
So you know what his face looks
cool.
like.
Yeah.
So you know what his medical history.
So they met once.
Yeah.
You know how to tell your doctor, make sure to look out for this because I don't know.
I don't know if my dad had it.
He had a Harley. I know that much. And a dog, a Harley and a German Shepherd.
Cool.
That's the
not
only thing
DNA though, so won't help you if you get arthritis.
It explains my love of motorcycles.
It does. I just would like to say that when I was saying like, oh, I'm here for Gavin because you can tell he's stirring the pot. Like I'm looking at Gavin through the lens that I'm looking at Lindsay. Like, you know how when I'll be like, oh, this person's annoying me. And you're like, no, I like them because I like a good villain.
They're doing something.
Like, I think Gavin has the potential to be a vibey villain.
Yeah. And he
I'm
can
okay
bounce
with that.
back from like, if you go like, if he does give you something and then they give it back, he'd be like, okay, I was just doing it.
Totally.
I was just doing a thing. It didn't work.
Very resilient.
He seems that way. But I want to obviously underline that, like I said, I don't know him. And then I also think I started off. In fact, I know I started off, just to be clear, that I said, I don't know where Gavin's sort of like jabs at Kenny is derived from. And it could very well be that he's had this buddy that he was always able to like walk in his house whenever, know that like, I'm going to call him and he's going to be down to do this thing, go to this this party at a warehouse in the middle of nowhere and be there until 8 a.m. the next morning. Like all down. And that now he could be saying things because he's bummed that like, I still think that what he's saying, I'm vibing that like those things are real, regardless of where it's coming from, the intention behind it. So I just want to be clear about that it could be all bad intention. I still think it's true though. What he's saying is, I got those vibes already, and I don't know Kenny. Gavin knows Kenny.
But you said something earlier. You're upset because he's a boy trying not to be a boy. Well, what happens when the boy is like, all right, I'm good. It's time to get married. Or I found someone that makes me not want to be a boy. Now I get it. You're the girl that I want to change everything for. It was fun while it lasted, but this is what I really want. Or no, I wanted to be a boy in my 20s and then settle down late 20s, 30s. Like that was my plan. Like Stephanie, like, listen, we don't know how this ends up. He definitely is giving finance bro vibes. I'm not going to argue with that. Like he has that little douchey New York finance bro vibe thing, which is not fun. But like, as far as I can tell, he seems to like this girl and went through some shit. And so like, I don't know. I just, Gavin is so far, Kenny's not shown me anything that I'm like, and Gavin has shown me a couple times now where I'm like, I don't trust you, buddy.
Remember how I told you that there was that?
I don't remember that. No, sorry.
There's that Harvard study that was done that could predict like if a couple was going to stay together with 88% accuracy.
And we're getting divorced.
And no, I did not say that. You said that. You can own that. And the second answer, like the first answer was like very balanced. The second answer was my mother's a saint, never did anything wrong a day in her life, took care of all of us. I never even made my bed one day. And the third was like, my mom can all the way off. She's the devil and I don't want to talk about her. I think Kenny might be in a column B where it's like, because I don't know. I'm just getting a vibe from him that he might be a column B-er.
But that's a hard question to answer right after your mom dies. Like, because we've talked about that recently. I don't remember what, but like when like an asshole dies and they're like, man, Bob was really great. Like, no, Bob was a piece of shit. Yeah. Bob was always a piece of shit. He's mean to everybody. He's f***ing dick to your sister. Like, Bob, just because Bob's dead doesn't mean he's a saint now. Like, be good when you're alive, Bob. And when you're dead, we'll be like, Bob was great.
We love Bob.
But we don't.
Who got engaged right after their dad died? All of a sudden, all of his whole past was, I want to turn it all in to get married.
You and me.
Okay, well, you asked my dad for my hand. He was not dead yet.
All of your dads.
That would have been a little awkward.
52 dads I had to go through.
Jax Taylor was like, I don't even think him and Brittany were together anymore. And like literally
Honestly,
they got back together.
You're trying to say that this dude is a Jax?
I'm saying that this guy might have turned it all around for this girl right after he lost the most important female in his life.
And I was actually
saying, is that
saying,
a bad thing? Like, I
if
guess
you haven't done the work,
it
is. If you haven't done the work, it is.
It's a reaction to a crisis, to a traumatic event that happened, and
it's like cutting your hair after a breakup.
Totally
sure, but like, isn't that life? Things happen and
yes,
you evolve from it.
Of course, but if Kenny has always been like I always talk about like this new like this breed of guys out there, but like for him, like just being rich and successful and good looking and all the things, like and having everything at your fingertips. Yes, of course, maybe. Easily like that. Yes, life things happen and you're like, oh my God, that snapped me into reality. I know what's important now. Everything's changing. But if they don't have to change and you can easily just pop back into that old life at any moment because like money is no thing. And it's not like asking her to move out is going to mean like, oh, but I don't know if maybe I should just keep it going. I can't really afford all this rent on my own. Like options means that like flexibility and like very easy to pop in and pop out of like new situations, and there's no real consequence to it. There's like it's a little different. And I don't know him. I don't know any of these people. Blanket statement for literally everyone we're going to talk about today. I know Danielle. I know Lindsay. I know Kyle. I know Amanda. See you, a little snatch. But I don't know these people. So, but I get it. I have a vibe that Kenny could be more so, maybe even if it's just 10% more so on the side of, I might pop back into my old life any minute now.
Okay, so Esther Perel, this therapist that I really love, she's got a great podcast called Where Should We Begin? She says this thing about marriage in America. She says marriage in America is a welfare state because we don't have universal health care. We don't have things that kind of help life be a little bit easier for everyone. So you have to get married because then it's like you get to file jointly and your car insurance is cheaper because you have a joint package for 2 cars. You've got, you're a bundle, right? Like your health insurance is maybe a little bit cheaper because your rent is cheaper, your mortgage is cheaper because 2 people are paying it.
Have you ever heard people say, we can't afford to get divorced?
That's right.
Like that's like a lot of people I grew up with, like their parents would literally say like, we can't afford to get divorced.
And if that's no longer a thing because you are so financially independent, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next scene up is Georgina comes over to Lindsay's. They talk about their kids and the custody agreements. And I will say, I was very, I don't know if impressed is the word, but like we had never heard Lindsay even talk about the fact that she was enmeshed in kind of a
nothing. This was news
pretty big custody deal. So I was like, oh, is that growth, or did she just not want to get sued, or did it get cut? Like I don't know. I was just surprised to hear that because I'd never heard anything about it.
Well, I feel like I remember hearing that like that dude was pretty strict about like the baby being on any TV or being mentioned or in socials or whatever. Or maybe it was just socials. I can't remember. But I know that was a thing. Dude, what's so wild to me is getting pregnant, having a baby, and a few months, 6 months, a year later, being separated and having to plan 18 years, 17 years of a kid's life when in 15 years we're all going to be robots. Like, how do you even know what?
It's crazy.
I had to pause and sit for like 20 minutes and just be like, my head is exploding right now at the thought, and like, what a disaster that would be.
That's speaking of the time. So I feel like, some people, like I always say, like, oh, my mom got into real estate and got her license in 2008. Like she invested in AOL when it was like, it was like all of her money too, it does feel right now like on any other day of the week and in any prior years, Lindsay going into mediation with a guy that she knew for 2 months to not knew, I don't know however long they knew each other.
I think they were been friends for a while.
Yeah,
right?
I feel like they had known each other. And classic Lindsay, like, oh, we got back together. Like, I've known him for so long.
Yeah,
and then,
yeah. But then to have to plan 18 years out, like, I always look at mediation like it's between a married couple that's like, okay, who gets the airline points? How much money are you giving me every month? Who gets weekends? Who gets holidays? But to plan out, like, I feel like Lindsay went in there, like, what school do we want them to go to? What, like, if summer programs, like, I feel like Lindsay was ahead of the game in that way in our time. Yeah. But right now she's working with that in a time that, like, literally it could all be moot in like the next 4 years, and it's just funny because I didn't think of that. All I was thinking was like, of course, Lindsay is literally going to plan out all of those things. What kind of Sweet 16 do we want her to have? Where do we want it to have? Who's going to be responsible for drinks? Who's like that's the kind of planning that Lindsay does. But I was looking at it like, this is so great. Of course, this is what Lindsay would do. Not at all taking into consideration the times that we're living in right now. What a time to be alive!
Yeah, that's also a big old wasted plan there.
Up next, we've got the boys' night at the Garrett. And my favorite part from this is just when Andrea yells out, "You always stand up for your woman."
Yeah.
I love him so much. But Kenny again comes, it's like he's how the three of us here will all have our different opinions, and it's like, well, just one more thing. We just want to say one more thing.
Yeah.
Maybe more us than Mike, but it's still, it happens.
You guys take all my one more thing time.
Kenny's a walking disclaimer.
It's like I feel like he's walking into the scenes just being like, well, you got to get this because I also want to say she's got her minions and what, like he brings it up again. And I know he wants to bring it up because he wants to say something to Gavin, how he's, irritated with him. But
he
whatever.
Get ahead
Gavin
of everything.
says
that's right.
He wants to paint a picture so that whatever you see going forward, just know I told you that this is who she is. So whatever you see on the contrary, you'll have me in the back of your head reminding you that this is a lady that, got pregnant after 2 months with a guy that she wasn't even with, or this is Danielle who got this guy and he was married, and whatever. Like it's really very much treating the audience like they are such dope idiots that like they can't pick up anything on their own.
It's giving Danny Bucco. Well, everybody drinks. I can't drink and berate my wife for a whole entire vacation.
It only happens once every 5 to 10 times.
Yeah, seriously.
Like I wanted to be like, Nia, it shouldn't happen ever.
The takeaway is that Nia doesn't care. That's the takeaway that I've had after these last however many episodes.
And like, apparently doesn't. Neither does Whitney.
She doesn't really care, huh?
Neither does Whitney, and she's got the ability to move back home if she wishes. So stop picking on her.
I'm not picking on Whitney.
No,
stop picking on Whitney.
Hold on, I just need to say, feel like a lot of the comments. I'm just gonna read my notes because I just want you to know that I came into this with that. I feel like a lot of the comments on socials are like, Kenny's never going to marry this girl. She's so dumb. I can't believe she moved all the way here. How silly. I think the last week I said this girl is an influencer. Look at this as a gig. There's only money to be made here. Even if down the road she starts whining about Kenny dodging commitment discussions and ends up leaving, this is just one of those situations where unless he does something outlandishly atrocious, this is going to be time well spent. She will have an era for her Instagram. This is money in the bank. Like this is just a new backdrop for her things. When we talked earlier about like, oh, I'm not an outfit repeater, then what's in these 300,000 boxes? Props for content. That's what's in these boxes.
Outfits.
No, she's not an outfit repeater. So if you already wore them, seems like you're going to be traveling pretty light. So if you've got all those boxes,
no, you gotta have outfits for the next month or two.
Maybe
So they're
it's
all
new
brand
outfits,
new?
but
Yeah,
also maybe
brand
she
new.
like mix
Oh, all
and matches,
new.
right? Like, so I'll wear these jeans again, but I'm wearing it with a different top, different sexy Cardi. You know, no.
Right. I just thought like her to say,
Like
I've got
Mike's.
30 boxes in the same sentence of, but I'm not an outfit repeater. It was like, what is in these boxes? I also feel like she's the kind of woman that like maybe travels with like a box of stuffed animals. Like she seems like she's one of, no, that is
No,
going to be
I
the
think
guest room
it's-
so all of my stuffed
yeah.
animals can live in here.
When they have their own little suitcase of outfits. And they're
Where's
not,
Blue Bear gonna
yeah,
go?
totally.
I can't sleep without Blue Bear.
Listen,
Who
yeah,
can?
yeah,
And Blue
no.
Bear can't sleep without tiny zebra over here. Like it's
We're
seems that way,
family.
right?
Not up to me.
The other thing that happens in the scene after Andrea yells, "Always protect your woman," is Kyle says, you know, Amanda moved out. We're taking space, and it's just I have nothing left to give.
Sorry, real quick. Do we want to?
I was gonna cut after this.
Okay.
This thing is so big. Like we've got, I have more to say about Kyle. How he even walked in here was like two
sad.
perspectives. Let's cut here and continue this in part 2, and it will be up as soon as humanly possible.
Yeah. And like, subscribe, hype, and tell a friend.
All your friends.
You've been telling all your friends.
You guys
Even
have
the people you
friends?
don't like, tell them too. It was Janet on the Valley. That's who took their parents' bedroom.
Oh my God.